Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. This is actually my very first game review, so I'd really appreciate it if you could leave a like and a comment. It would mean a lot. The reason I decided to start with this game is probably because I've been avoiding horror games for a long time. I still remember the last one I tried, Outlast, and I only lasted about 15 minutes before quitting. That was the most I could handle back then. Years passed, and I pretty much stayed away from anything with horror elements. Until about a week ago. 1 week ago, I suddenly thought, what if I started doing YouTube game reviews? It sounded like a great idea. But then I couldn't decide which game to start with. I looked through the new releases, and the one that caught my eye the most was Ghost of Yotei. But unfortunately, I don't have a PlayStation. While searching for other titles, 3 games stood out to me: Silent Hill F, Cronos New Dawn, and Hell Is Us. Silent Hill has always been something that scared me since childhood, so I decided to check out the other 2 instead. And that's how I ended up playing Cronos New Dawn.
You almost fried there. Good thing I was around. Traveler.
A game that really surprised me in a good way. The moment I started it, I immediately felt that eerie, unsettling atmosphere, and that feeling never really went away. Sometimes I had to take breaks just to calm down. Even when I thought, okay, I've gotten used to this, the game found new ways to keep the fear fresh. So let's dive into it. Cronos New Dawn tells a story set in a dystopian world. A mysterious disease has spread across Earth, turning people into beings known as the Orphans, some kind of human-like fusion. The planet is basically on the brink of extinction. Our main character belongs to a mysterious organization called the Collective. Who or what they really are is never fully explained, and to be honest, I'm not even sure if our protagonist is fully human or some kind of android. The game seems to keep that intentionally vague. Anyway, the Collective sends out explorers, called Travelers, to gather information about the disease by traveling back in time and studying the experiences, memories, and even the essences of those who witnessed the outbreak firsthand. Apparently, the disease first appeared in Poland and then spread across the world. That's when we meet our main character, a traveler who's assigned to find out what happened to their predecessor. At first, we're just following orders, but as the story unfolds, things get much more emotional and human. Toward the end, I actually expected a different kind of finale, so I was surprised when it turned into something of a love story. Still, I liked the tone and pacing of the narrative overall. Now let's talk about gameplay, which I think is the strongest part of the game. When I first started playing, my first thought was, wow, this feels a lot like Dead Space. And yeah, it really does, but in a good way. It doesn't feel like a bad clone. You'll explore areas like a steel factory, hospital, church, and cemetery, all perfect settings for a horror game. The game does a great job keeping the tension alive, thanks to limited resources and unpredictable enemies that can come from anywhere. Combat feels solid and satisfying. You start with only one melee weapon, but as you progress, new ones get added to your arsenal. There are also fire-based explosives, and managing them is crucial. You can only carry 1 at first, and later up to 2. The Orphans, as enemies, are extremely weak to fire. If you kill one but don't burn the body, a nearby orphan can merge with it and become even stronger. That mechanic adds a nice strategic touch. Enemy variety is also decent. Early on you'll see similar types, but every few hours the game introduces new ones, or even a boss fight. There aren't that many bosses, maybe 2 main ones besides the final, but they're intense. Save points are located in safe zones, where you can check your inventory and upgrade your character. I think the save frequency is just right. Not too rare, not too frequent. The game also autosaves at key moments, but don't rely on it too much, or you might end up replaying a large section like I did. Another interesting feature is the essence system. Throughout the story, you find the essences of other travelers or characters. You can carry up to 3 at once, and each gives you different bonuses. Some improve melee, others enhance your explosives. Honestly, I didn't notice huge differences, but it's still a cool idea. Oh, and yes, there are cats. I'm not entirely sure what their purpose is, but if you find and pet them, they drop items. So, to sum it all up, Cronos New Dawn was the first horror game I've played in years, and maybe that's why it hit me so hard, but I genuinely enjoyed it. It's atmospheric, tense, and keeps you on edge from start to finish. My final score for the game is